Okay, let's talk about Linux file permissions. There are rules defining who can read, write, execute on any file or directory. There's three levels. There's three classes of users. There's the file owner, then there's the group in which the owner is, which is the file owner group. Then there's everyone else. Say if you're not the owner, and if you're not in the owners group, then you are everyone else, system user or something like that. Now, why do we need file permissions? It provides security and control. It's why you don't run apps as root. It's too much control to have. You could break things. You need to explicitly say you are a root user to run certain applications. You need sudo. It provides file control. One file can have different levels of access depending on who is accessing the file. Okay, so how do we modify a file's permissions? Let's look at a sample file here. I'll check into test new, increase the font, make deal, file palms, cd file palms. Okay, now let's start a file called, it's called test.txt. So we created a file called test.txt. We are going to modify that file's permissions. Let's look at its current permissions. LA. So this is test.txt. I am the user, the creator of the file. I have both read and write permissions. The group in which I am, it has only the read permissions, and everyone else has read permissions only. If you'd like to know how to modify what the default permissions for everyone else are, you could read about setuid. Sorry, you could read about the umask command. My umask value is currently 022, which is why we have this. But anyway, that's a different topic. So how do I give myself execute permissions on test.txt? My chmod u plus x test.txt. Now if I list the file again, realize I have execute permissions. How do I take away that permission? It's u, which is me, the user, the owner of the file, minus x. And now we don't have execute permissions for the owner. I can do the same for others and for the group. Say for example, I'm going to give the group write permissions. So it's going to be a g plus w. How is that? So the group has write permissions. Now you could provide permissions in two ways. You could do like I did, provide symbols, or you could provide permissions in octo format, right? Oh, what is that? Yeah, you could provide permissions in octo format. Say for example, I'll try to change the file's permissions to 0, 0, 0, 0, 7. Well, this is the setuid bit, and this is my permissions. I'll give myself full permissions, which is 7, and I'll give the group read and write permissions, which is a 4 and a 2, that is a 6. Then I'll give everyone else only the read permissions, which is a 4. Test.txt. ls/lh test.txt. So I have read, write, execute permissions. The group has read and write permissions, exactly. And then everyone else has only the read permission, which is a 4. Like it is here. The read permission is a 4. The write permission is a 2. The execute permission is a 1. If you have all the permissions, it means you have 4 plus 2 plus 1, which is a 7. Anyways, a sticky bit. Sticky bit can be set on files to make sure, for example, they're not deleted from the temp directory. Any directory you create in the temp folder, every user in the system can do anything to that directory or file. I'll try to create a file in the temp directory. Touch tmp test.txt ls/tmp test.txt. Well, that's interesting. I did not expect that. That's very interesting. Anyways, while we are at that, let's look up something on the files created in the temp folder. On /tmp linux. Because I thought that when you create a file in using tmp and var tmp safely. Okay, tmp should be used for smaller size bounded files. Data that shall survive a good cycle shouldn't be placed in tmp. tmp and tmp var, which provide a common place shared by all local software. Some software creates a file, then another software fail. Also, it has nothing to do with file permissions. We learn something new every day. But anyways, that was a good one. Yeah, that's it for file permissions. That's it for file permissions. Oh, to escalate and have more permissions than you have, there's two ways to do it. You can use sudo or you can use doers. I don't like using doers because it doesn't sound like Linux. I like sudo. Let's see if Pacman, if we have doers provided by Arch or doers. I'm using sudo. Anyways, that's it for this one, and adios.